I'm Chef Rahim. I'm 12 years old. Today, I'm going to show you how to make double chocolate chip cookies. My uncle loves insomnia cookies, so he challenged me to make a recipe as close to insomnia cookies, and I think this one's a winner. For this recipe, you'll need chocolate chips, an egg, chocolate chunks, all-purpose flour, cocoa powder, baking soda, unsalted butter, baking powder, dark brown sugar, granulated sugar, vanilla extract, and kosher salt. Now we're going to mix together the following. We're going to start with our flour, our cocoa powder, kosher salt, baking powder, and baking soda. We're going to mix them all together. We're going to mix it until combined. Our second step is to start beating our butter. Your butter needs to be room temperature. If it's not room temperature, you can either stick it in the microwave or let it sit for a couple minutes. Now you're going to beat your butter. Once your butter is light, you're going to start adding in your sugars. Starting with white, and then brown. You're going to beat this for about 5 minutes. Now that our sugar has been beaten into our butter, we're going to add in an egg and vanilla. And then we're going to whisk it in as well. Now that our egg and vanilla has been beaten into our butter, we're going to slowly add our dry ingredients. The reason we add it slowly, not all at once, is that when I tried it all at once, it flew everywhere. And that is not what you want. We're going to start mixing it together. Once it's beat good, you're going to add in some more flour. Everything's mixed, but an important step is we have to take the sides and take all the flour and fold it into the dough. Now that everything's mixed, all we have to do is add in our chocolate chips and chocolate chunks and refrigerate our dough. Now we're going to start folding in our chocolate chunks and chocolate chips. To fold them, you go around the sides and push them in. Around the sides and fold it. Around the sides and fold it. You just want to keep doing that until all the chocolate is dispersed inside the dough. And now we're done. All we have to do is cover it in plastic wrap and put it in the refrigerator overnight. You can optionally do it for an hour, but I prefer to do it overnight. You can't just wrap it normally in plastic wrap. There's a special way to do it. What you have to do is you have to take the plastic wrap and press it against the dough. And I'm going to put it in my refrigerator overnight. Good morning, everyone. My cookie dough is rested in the fridge overnight. So, we're getting ready to bake it. We're going to start baking our cookies now. We need to preheat our oven to 350 degrees. Lay out a sheet of wax paper. And then scoop out our cookies. I use an ice cream scooper for even cookies. Notice that the cookie dough is hard coming out of the fridge, so you may want to let it sit for a little while. So, I'll put it on my baking sheet. I'm going to continue scooping. I'm going to put 6 cookies. I've tried 8 and 9, but what happens is when you put them too close together, they spread out and touch. I use an ice cream scooper to get even cookies. You can use your hand or even a spoon. Now that I have 6 cookies, I'm ready to bake. I noticed that my first 3 cookies were harder to scoop than my final 3. The reason for this is my cookie dough has been sitting out, therefore becoming softer. A pro tip is to scoop your cookie dough before you put it in the fridge. Now at least we're going to bake our cookies. They're going to go in the oven at 350 for 15 minutes. I've taken my cookies out of the oven, so now I have to let them cool. One thing you'll notice is that the cookies are very fluffy. The longer your cookies sit out, the denser they become. Our cookies are still going to be fluffy on the inside because we put so much chocolate in them. Cookies have been cooling for 6 to 7 minutes, and now I'm going to show you why I think this is the best cookie recipe. Look at that, guys. Now the most important part of the recipe, the taste test. That's a really good cookie. Hi, I'm Chef Rahim. I'm 12 years old. If I can make double chocolate chip cookies, so can you. Time to eat, I'm hungry. And it also goes really well with a glass of milk.